All right, ladies and gentlemen, I ate me a nice healthy portion of food, and now we can begin with the last reaction for today concerning Sakamoto Days. Sorry for the delay. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples! QShu92 here, and welcome back to yet another live reaction to the next chapter of Sakamoto Days. Last we left out on, we had Shin and Atari and pretty much everyone else trying to get away from Tenkyu, who is hot on their heels, and Tenkyu is doing his best to try and take them out, and Atari is trying her best to stay next to Shin because Shin is apparently her lucky piece, her luck item. And the moment she lets go of him or he tries to wrest control from her, she gets hit in the head with a potted plant, and then also gets stuck to the ground with like 100 pieces of gum. So she immediately gets unlucky the moment she's not touching Shin. Tenkyu catches up to them and tries to, tries to get a hold of Atari, saying that, hey, look into my future and see how do I tie things up with Uzuki. And despite Atari letting him know that nothing is ever going to change, Tenkyu really doesn't really register up here. And he says like, okay, but how can I patch things up with him? But it's like speaking to a wall. You can't patch things up with your friends. Things can't go back to the way they were. It's literally an impossibility because of the multiple personalities within Uzuki. Tenkyu doesn't comprehend what this means, and he's all like, but how can we go back to the way things were? You just don't. So now we're left here with Shin wanting to take out Tenkyu because of how much of a danger he is. Even saying like, I'm going to leave Sakamoto's place. I'm resigning from the Sakamoto store because this dude needs to die, which means I need to break those Sakamoto family rules in order for everyone to live safely, because he's the type of individual who would have absolutely no problem holding Hana or Aoi hostage in order to get to Sakamoto. So Shin is all like, you guys go on ahead, take my name tag. I'm resigning from the store because I'm going to kill this man. So now we're here with days 192, True Feelings. And we have Shin. I'm resigning from the Sakamoto store. I'm gonna be an assassin again. And Shin, not losing focus from Tenkyu, Heisuke is all like, You aren't making sense, yo! What do you mean going back to being an assassin, yo? What's up with you? And Shin spins around and immediately pulls Heisuke down because he almost gets shot by Tenkyu. The moment Shin is momentarily distracted, Tenkyu uses this in order to try and shoot them both. Impressive. I can't believe you dodged that. Heisuke, do you think this guy needs to die? I can't answer that. I think he does. That's how I truly feel. Pardon me. Shin. And Tenkyu, with that same inhuman smile, and I describe it as inhuman because a human smiles have some weight behind it. But he smiles because it's a facial movement, not that it's tied to any actual emotion. But he just has that same smile on his face, and then Shin goes, once, when I read Mr. Sakamoto's mind, there was a memory of Aoi saying,
killing is wrong. No matter who they are, everyone is precious to someone.
I wanted to become that kind of person too, but I can't do it because not everyone's a good person.
And it cuts to Tenkyu, who jumps right next to Shin and tries to crush him underneath his bow. So not only is his bowstring ridiculously strong, but also the bow itself, like the curved part. It has a name, I just never looked into it. But he tries to smash Shin, and from the impact, they pretty much break the floor, where it's just Shin and Tenkyu falling through the floor. Shin, grab my hand! And Shin has his hand outstretched And while they're falling, there's enough time for Heisuke to scream this out while Shin is falling into the dark beneath this next floor. Shin, you invited me to join Sakamoto's store. I don't want to be there without you. And as Shin is falling into the abyss,
The Sakamoto family rules?
and this goes back to when Sakamoto gave him this book. No killing. If you're a part of our household, they're your rules too.
Right.
I'm trusting you to handle this.
Got it. I'm saying don't underestimate me.
And these are all previous scenes, all previous chapters from these conversations between Sakamoto and Shin that we've seen in previous volumes. Don't go there. You're no match for me.
I care about a lot of people now. If I can protect someone, I'm going to do it.
Oh, wait. I care about a lot of people now. If I can protect someone, I'm going to do it. Shin, I want your help with this.
Of course.
JAA prison, lowest floor B3. And both Shin and Tenkyu fall into basically this dilapidated area. Just full of water. And Shin manages to get up out of the air, get up out of the water, coughing, and then he immediately moves off to the side as something comes careening in and destroys the platform that he was at. And when he gets to the ground, we get some wet feet just walking up on the deck with him, and it's Tenkyu again.
I like what you said back there. I feel like I finally heard your true feelings, Shin. Trying to be a good person is tiring, right? I get it. Yeah, all the people around me are so good. It's ridiculous. That's why I won't let anyone hurt them, even if I have to kill you, Tenkyu. Wow. When you put it that way, it somehow sounds justified. Despite that, ultimately, you're just a killer. So is there really any difference between you and me? There's no difference. That's the problem, you idiot.
And Tenkyu immediately opens fire on Shin. He just opens fire on him, and Shin dodges.
You can dodge that kind of speed?
And Shin is directly in front of Tenkyu.
This goes beyond having lightning reflexes. It's more like a psychic ability. Does he have the power to see the immediate future? Well, that makes things tricky. I have to draw back the bowstring. There's no avoiding a split-second delay. If I use my bow the regular way, he can dodge everything. Well then.
And Tenkyu jumps up into the air and tries to fire at Shin, but fires where his footing is and causes him to stumble just a little bit.
Yeah. Just gotta make him impossible to dodge, right?
And Shin tries to use stop on Tenkyu, which Tenkyu doesn't stop him at all, and he sends Shin not only flying off the platform they are, but he also causes him to skip across the water and then slam into the wall into the distance of this floor.
I can't overwrite this guy's thoughts. No, I did stop him that one time. Why? What's different between then and now?
And then we have a memory of Nagumo. Well, that ability sounds way too convenient, so I'm wondering if there's any risks involved.
Come to think of it, up until now, I've never used this power. More than once on the same person.
And then Tenkyu has apparently found like this steel bar, jabbed it into the ground, put his bowstring behind this bar, and is stretching it as far as he can. Because he uses this to slingshot himself over to where Shin is. He just pulls it as far back as he can. This must be an incredibly elastic, but also incredibly prehensile and strong wire that is basically what encompasses his entire bowstring. Because he just pulls it as far as he can, I imagine regular bows in real life would never last this amount of tension. And he just slingshots himself. And it's so fast that the bowstring winds up cutting straight through the metal pipe because of all that extra strength put behind it. And he's right in front of Shin. And he takes Shin through 1, 2, 3, 4 solid concrete pillars, just holding onto his face, just slamming him through all of these walls.
Dude, you don't want to space out like that. Unlike you, I don't hesitate to kill Shin. Fine, bring it!
And then we cut to another area. We cut to a whole nother area entirely. And we're back with Atari, Miss Hoshi, and Heisuke.
Shin,
And then Atari's just thinking,
if I don't do something, we'll lose him.
Taro, what should I do?
and then someone walks up, just out of nowhere.
Who's that? Yo, are you the JAA's all-powerful fortune teller? I need a reading on this horse racing ticket.
What is Torres doing there? Torres is here. Torres is in the JAA prison, and he's already down where they are. Great, great. Not only do we have to worry about 10Q, but now we have to worry about Torres. Why are you there? Why are you here? Lord Jesus. Okay, so let's just talk about this whole thing. Shin is really battling thoughts about, taking out 10Q, despite the memories that he's had with Sakamoto. And despite the memory he accessed of Sakamoto about always saying, like, it's never good to kill someone no matter what. So he's steady fighting 10Q, and they're now on the lowest floor. And 10Q just continues to show. This is the end of the chapter. Torres just shows up to be continued. And we got 10Q, who is just insane. Like, who would think to use your own bow as a makeshift slingshot to launch yourself to an area at a speed someone can't mentally keep up with in order to blitz them and then proceed to drive them through 4 solid concrete walls? And the next thing you say is like, dude, you can't space out like that. At least Shin is still conscious, because he's all like, okay, bring it. Stop, quit that yakking and come get these hands. It's Okay, I feel like this 10Q versus Shin fight is going to be really, really good. The only success from Alkamar versus a psychic. This is going to be Shin's greatest test against a literal perfect assassin. At least by the Alkamar standards. A literal perfect assassin. So I can't wait to see how things go. But why is Torres here? Why is Torres here? Will Torres interfere? I don't know. That's the thing. Because the first thing that comes to mind, Killer Bean, also, hi, Killer Bean. It's good to see you here. The first thing that comes to mind about Torres' intentions is, one, dude is greedy. This dude has avarice that is insane because he's millions of dollars in debt to the JAA. But on the other hand, he's an individual that has experienced the life of Sakamoto at his own home. Experiencing something that, he thinks that only assassin can actually deal with. But something as complicated as cooking food in multiple different ways at the same time, which is normal for regular people, and watching a child make a plane out of a piece of paper, that is mesmerizing to him. So who knows what sort of an impact that whole dinner that he was a part of, that he sat in on, Who knows how much of an impact has actually, you know, affected him? Not saying that it has, but because anyone who runs into Sakamoto, they don't stay the exact same way they were whenever they're done interacting with him and his family. No one ever has. No one. No one. Not even Kashima. And Kashima sided with Uzuki this entire time without fail until he was there with Hana. And he willingly sacrificed his own body with all the random kid-like upgrades that Hana had done to him. He still went out of his way to protect her. So it's something about interacting with Sakamoto and his family that can cause people to, have a secondary view of things. And maybe they don't turn out, whenever they go into Sakamoto's place, they never leave out the exact same way. That's always how it is for people. Except for Nagumo. Nagumo has always been the exact same, regardless. So, only time will tell to see if maybe something is going on with Torres that could cause him to interfere, maybe. Or if his avarice is just getting the better of him, and he's only there to see if he can get a winning ticket, so that way he can get some money, so that way he can start to pay off his debts a little bit more. Because he really wants Sakamoto to go out there and kill people so his bounty can get high enough so he can pay off his entire debt to the JAA. But Sakamoto ain't killing nobody, so Sakamoto's 1 billion yen bounty is not going anywhere. So, yeah. We'll have to see what part Torres has to play while he's down there. Because remember, he's also a member of the Order. He's ridiculously strong. After fighting Sakamoto, Sakamoto has been losing to him. Sakamoto has been losing to fighting Torres. Because Sakamoto's trying to get stronger, but he hasn't beaten Torres yet. This man can get body slammed into a truck face first, and he's all like, ow, without a single mark. So, it makes me wonder, what would Torres do against Tenkyu? Because Torres is extremely fast. Even after, because remember the fight between Sakamoto and Torres where Sakamoto threw an entire stop sign at him. Or it was a sign of some kind, not necessarily stop. And Torres immediately disintegrated it with his sandblasters. Is that fast? Does that mean he's fast enough to intercept an arrow from Tenkyu and disintegrate that as well? How durable are his arrows? We know that they're incredibly durable because they're capable of, basically boring through entire human beings and then impacting a wall far behind them and then cratering in the wall. So who knows what these arrows are comprised of? Also, another question, where is he getting these arrows? This Joker ain't got a quiver anywhere. He ain't got no backpack full of arrows. He's not Hawkeye where he could just draw them from his back. He's not even wearing a shirt. He doesn't have any clothes on except for shorts. Where is he getting these arrows from? You can't tell me that the arrows are just all over the prison because they're not going to let people just have random weapons like this all over the prison. Well, then again, they probably could, and they're just maintaining everyone's sentences down in this area and confining them there. But where is he getting these arrows from? He doesn't have anything to hold them with. So it would be interesting to see if Torres would have an interaction with Shin and Tenkyu. And if we can get another Order versus Uzuki's gang fight, because we've already had one with Shishiba and Carolina Reaper and Kumanomi and Miss Osaragi basically just eviscerating Carolina Reaper, and Hio versus Kumanomi, and Nagumo versus Gaku, and all these different members of the Order, all these different members of Uzuki's gang. Mind you, Tenkyu is no longer part of the gang, but he knows Uzuki, so that could be reasons. But we'll have to see. We're not going on break, though. I also had a theory, sorry, I didn't read what you said next, Killer Bean. My apologies. Maybe Atari can convince him to help. Kind of fishy that he showed up out of nowhere. Maybe Sakamoto or some other member mentioned Atari to him. I wouldn't be surprised if someone mentioned Atari being a fortune teller and Torres seeing this as an opportunity to get some quick money. That's the reason why he's got the horse racing ticket in his hands. Oh, we got a fortune teller? Maybe she can tell me who's going to win on this race so that way I can get myself some money. Because, money tends to be one of his biggest driving motivations in life, just so he can pay off this debt. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's down there just to see if she can tell him who's going to be on the winning ticket. But given the fact that she says that a lot of her luck has run out and she's only going to use it on one last person, which I believe would be Shin, I imagine she's probably not going to be able to help out Torres, which could complicate things, given how Torres has not been a calm and reasonable person. Yeah. I also had a theory that this is probably Nagumo rescuing Shin. Maybe he gives him a deadline to get out of something like that. Maybe. We'll have to see. But Tenkyu is crazy. This man literally, like, what is his bow made of? The things that he is doing with his bow are not possible with any bow that exists on Earth now. There's no way you have a bowstring that is that elastic and that durable, where you can stretch it that far, where it has the power and prehensile strength to launch you across a body of water with such speed that you drive a person through 4 concrete walls. That is not a normal bow. I would like, you know what? Thank you. What is his weapon again? A compound bow? Let's see. Tenku uses a compound bow as a weapon. The bow is customized to his liking and features arrows with extremely sharp points. So it's just a compound bow, but it is not normal. Where did he even get this? Like, I'm looking at the chapter from like 185. The panel from 185 where he has his bow. It snaps into place. It looks like an incredibly heavy-duty compound bow. Like the kind you would see in a video game after you've maxed out its upgrades. Honestly, the fight, if it does happen, will be a hard tie. I think Tenkyu is a superior fighter, but Torres' weapon is no joke. Sandblasters that can literally disintegrate metal mid-flight in an instant. A weapon with incredible speed and another weapon with incredible disintegration speed. Would be interesting to see which one is faster. Torres' sandblaster or Tenkyu's arrows. That's something I would like to see. But we're just going to have to see in the next chapter. And really, what is Torres' purpose there? Let me see. He says this is a horse racing ticket, but the ticket says fight. Win plus place. I'm trying to zoom in. You know what? I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in this image, see if I can make out what it says. Let's see. Teo Iwakura, bet amount 100 yen. Single win 100 yen, place 100 yen. Total 20 tickets, 200 yen. I was trying to make out what it said on there. The fact that there's such little text on here that you can actually make out and read what it says on there. Okay, I like that. All right, we'll find out. We'll find out next week because we're not going on break. We'll find out next week what is going to happen with Torres here. Because I don't trust him. I'm gonna be honest. I don't trust Torres at all. He's motivated by money. And he has no qualms about holding people hostage either. Like Hana and Aoi, which is what he thought would be a good idea in order for them to draw out Sakamoto. So I don't trust Torres being there, and I really hope we actually get some progress with Shin as far as his power is concerned, so you can figure out better ways to use it instead of trying to make someone stop. Because we also learn that he's also noticing that there's a pattern with his stop command where people who are stopped the first time don't really get affected by it the second time. So he's discovering some drawbacks, but we'll see. We'll see. Overall, while I did like this chapter, 2 morally great characters. Yeah, Tenkyu and Torres. They just exist. They don't really bend to the morals as much as everyone else. Tenkyu is even worse because he doesn't have a shred of emotion at all. He may smile, but there's no emotion or no humanity behind it. It is, like I said earlier, literally just a facial contortion to him. So we'll see. We'll see. Overall, I did like this chapter. It just shows that Tenkyu is a literal force to be reckoned with. But I feel like Shin's about to show that he's a force to be reckoned with as well. And in the end, hopefully he doesn't need to kill Tenkyu in order to bring him down. So he can still work at the store. But we'll see. Next chapter is next week. Welcome to December, everybody. The last month of the year before we move into 2025. Like I said to everyone in my One Piece reaction earlier today, I got a lot of things lined up, from Kirby and the Forgotten Land to Warhammer 40k Darktide, the 2024 video game awards, Vampire Survivors Ode to Castlevania DLC, a Q&A session for you guys. There's going to be some reaction streams, some more Warhammer stuff, a lot of stuff that I got in the works that I would very much like to bring you guys before this year is over and before we move into the next year of 2025. So I'm looking forward to bringing you guys some incredibly fun content and things that you all can be a part of. All I can say to you for this right now is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video! Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!